Hello my treasured viewers and welcome back to our channel. If you are joining us for the first time, the channel is Alternative Tutorial, a channel dedicated to helping all of us have a better grasp of the English language for our everyday communication, for business transactions, and for family conversations, for formal occasions, and for every other situation that requires communication in English language. Today, we live in a changing world, in a world very much different from the one that our fathers and grandfathers lived in. The phenomenon of globalization used to sound like a mirage in the past, but in our time it has become a reality. In other words, the entire world has been turned into a global village, a global town, a close-knit community where everything done by everyone has got an impact on every other person. And so, Nigerians and people in the other English-speaking or Anglophone Africa are desperately making the efforts to be able to reach out to other people in the world, employing the English language as a medium of expression. Today in Nigeria, young people and the old alike are experimenting on public speaking using various social media platforms as a medium. There are videos of diverse background everywhere on the social media, with young and old Nigerians across, that's with young and old Nigerians alike, trying to project or put the ideas across to others. To be able to do this effectively, they need the English language, because the English language has become Nigeria's lingua franca, since the people of Nigeria indigenously are diverse. They are diverse in the languages, in the cultures, and in many other preferences. And the English language has become a unifying factor. It is the only medium through which the diverse ethnicities that make up Nigeria can communicate and get to understand themselves. To be able to do this effectively, however, the English language is indispensable. Therefore, as you watch videos of variegated backgrounds, flying or crisscrossing one another on the social media, if you are one who is grounded in the English language, you cannot fail but discover how much grammatical blunders or how much more our people still need to learn when it comes to the act of communication in English. So to be able to impress your audience and drive your message home in the English language, you need to be proficient in that language. That is what this channel is built for. Apart from all of this, the channel is also meant to help our young ones who are still in the school system to do very well in this all-important language. Secondary school students at all levels, especially those in SS3, who very soon, in a number of months, in a couple of months this year, will be sitting for their SSCE WAEC examination. And the UTME examination conducted by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, the so-called Jambites. A channel like this will help you a lot to do very well in that examination. And I've already made a promise. If you like the videos in this channel, share the videos and subscribe to this channel, I'll give you a complete set of solved questions, a complete set of solved 100 questions from past examinations, whether it is JAM or the WAEC examination. You specify the one that you need. If you like the videos we post on this platform and share the videos, subscribe to this channel and become a member of the channel's community, I'll give you a set of 100 questions answered from past examinations. But before I give you such answered questions, you have to understand the language first, so that at least you'll be able to verify whether the answers given to you agree with what you have learned or not. I am not an advocate of preparing for an examination by studying only past questions. No, studying past questions is a lazy person's way of preparing for an examination. Because the answer to those past questions, the answers you are given, are not usually clear. You simply take them as correct answers without knowing why. If I get a sentence and there is a missing word, and then I supply the missing word as a correct answer, you wouldn't know why it is a correct answer until I teach you why. That is what we are doing here. So this channel will help you a lot to make your papers in the JAM and WAEC examination, as well as equip you with the ability to speak fluently in public thereafter. In our immediate 3 past videos, we talked about the simple present tense, the nature of the simple present tense, and its functions. And then we talked about constructions in the simple present tense. And thirdly, we talked about the present progressive tense or the present continuous tense, whichever one you choose to call it. You would do well to watch those 3 videos before or along with the one that you are watching now. I am happy as always to know that you are there for me. Your presence encourages me morally. As you can see, today we are still discussing the present tenses. Today we're talking about the present perfect. And what we have on the board is the formula, so to say. Have or has. The verb has or have. Plus, that's together with a past participle. The past participle is the lexical part of the verb, the lexical verb in a sentence. While the form of have or has is the auxiliary part. We want to talk about what the present perfect tense does, when to use it. First, the present perfect tense is used to talk about an action that has just ended at the present time. An action completed at a time when the doer of the action and the watcher or viewer of the action is expecting what will happen next, or is waiting for what will happen next. It is called present perfect tense. Let us take an example. We say, Let us take a look at the sentences. We have used the verb has or have in each of the sentences. We have used has where the subject is singular. For instance, the subject, the gardener, is singular. So we say has finished. That's the singular form has, and the past participle finished. The past participle is the lexical form of the verb, while has is the auxiliary. 2. Mabel has baked. Mabel has baked some cakes for the guest. Mabel singular. Verb has baked singular. 3. Have ridden. Kate and Lawrence, plural subject. Then the verb changes from has to have. Kate and Lawrence have ridden away on their bicycles. Kate and Lawrence have ridden away on their bicycles. 4. Interrogative, that is the question form. It says, have the children. Children is plural. So, it agrees in number with the verb have. Have the children taken their bath? Have the children taken their bath? 5. We have had. Again, the pronoun we is plural, a plural subject, so it goes on also with have. We have had our lunch. We have had our lunch. Let us take some more of these examples, concentrating this time on pronouns. In all these sentences, the sense is the action just happened and what else? What next? It says, I have taken a walk around the archive. You can visualize me just stepping out of the archive when I say, I have taken a walk around the archive, meaning I just finished. So present perfect means just finished or just ended. 7. You have had your hair cut. You've had your hair cut. 7. Question. Have they inspected the nursery beds? Have they inspected the nursery beds? 9. She has spoken to Mr. Lewis. She has spoken to Mr. Lewis. She has spoken to Mr. Lewis. So in these examples, the sense of the sentence is this action just happened now. It just ended. It's just completed. That's what present perfect tense is. Used to talk about an action just finished, an action that has just come to an end or just completed at the present. And we make this tense by beginning with has or have along with the past participle of the action verb. It is the action part of the verb that we call the lexical verb, while has or have is the auxiliary verb. That is the first function of the present perfect tense. You have a question for me. Very good. You can drop your question on the comment section. And if that is not enough, you can reach me on phone by calling the number 0806 5422 624. You can also drop a message for me on WhatsApp using the number 091 333 01790. Or you can send me an email on the address alfonso@gmail.com. alfonso@gmail.com. So we may now continue. What else does the present perfect tense do apart from telling us that an action has just ended? The second function of the present perfect tense is that it is used to say that an action which started in the past has an impact at the present time. An action that started in the past has an impact at the present time. So make this correctly. You use the adverb since or for. These are adverbial words, since or for. For instance, we have a sentence. Let us pay attention. In these three sentences, we are illustrating the fact that the action started in the past, but its impact can still be felt at the present. The first sentence says, Mr. Damien has lived in Paris for 10 years, meaning 10 years up to now. The fact that it is up to now means it has an impact, it has an effect at the present time. It started 10 years earlier, but the impact can still be felt. Mr. Damien has lived in Paris for 10 years, means that he still lives there, and his living there started 10 years earlier. That is why it is present perfect. Has lived. Alright. Number 2, Neddy. Neddy has taught. Neddy has taught geography at a core high since its inception. Neddy has taught geography at a core high since its inception. That means since the inception of the school, meaning since the beginning of the school, Neddy has taught geography. And this implies that she still teaches geography in that school, even as we are talking. Number 3, she has sung at the club since my childhood. Since my childhood, from the time I was a child up to now. That means she still sings at the club. So let's take a look at this final sentence on this particular function of the present perfect tense. It says, for 8 years, meaning up to now, for 8 years, Nelly has babysat for the Jones family. To babysit means to take care of babies. For 8 years, Nelly has babysat for the Jones family. What this implies is that she still babysits for the family. So let's talk about the third function of the present perfect tense. It is used to talk about an action that took place within a period that hasn't come to an end. An action that took place within a period that hasn't come to an end can be expressed using the present perfect tense. An example is, let's take a look at the 3 sentences we have here. It says, the train has been to Port Harcourt thrice this week. Then, the adverbial of time this week. period that hasn't come to an end. If the train has been to Port Harcourt twice this week, that implies it can still go again. The speaker is talking about a week that hasn't come to an end, within which the train has been to Port Harcourt 3 times. So the present perfect can be used to talk about an action that took place within a period that has not come to an end. Number 2 says, the train engines haven't worked. This is the negative form. Haven't worked. The train engines haven't worked for a long time. That is for a long time that hasn't really ended. 3. Sheila has returned. Sheila has returned to the hospital twice this past fortnight. The fortnight here is a period of 2 weeks, which hasn't come to an end. It says, Sheila has returned to the hospital twice this past fortnight. This past fortnight up till now. So that is the third function of the present perfect tense. Let's take a look at the fourth example. Still on the same idea. Number 4 says, Basil lost his calculator. He still hasn't seen it, meaning up to now. The losing of the calculator occurred in the past, but it is an action that took place in the past, a past that continues to a present that hasn't come to an end. That is a period that hasn't come to an end. It says, Basil lost his calculator. He still hasn't seen it, meaning up till now. The present perfect tense, finally, is used to talk about a past action if the time of the action is not mentioned. That means you speak about a past event without talking about the time it happened, because the time it happened that should have made it past is not there. You can express that action in the present perfect. So if we have an example like 1, Charles has written 5 novels. Has written is a way of making a past event sound new, especially to someone who is hearing about it for the first time. It says, Charles has written 5 novels. Of course, the writing of 5 novels, even one, couldn't have taken place immediately. We are talking about writing that Charles did in the past, but someone is informing another person and tries to make it appear new by saying has written instead of saying Charles wrote 5 novels 10 years ago or 2 years ago, as the case may be, which will make it a simple past tense. Number 2. Number 2 here says, I saw Maureen at the mall. She has painted many images for the local art gallery. She has painted many images for the local art gallery. Maureen is a painter. She's an artist. She has painted means that is something she did in the past, painting many images. We are not saying she just painted them now. No. The speaker is saying that these things happened in the past, but putting it in the present perfect makes the subject appear new. She has painted, meaning that is what she has done up to now. In this sentence, 3 we have Francis is an architectural genius. Francis is an architectural genius who has drawn scores of building plans. Has drawn, present perfect. We are told that Francis, being an architect, has drawn many, has drawn several, has drawn plentiful building plans. Has drawn does not mean he just did them, but we mean that is something he did in the past, but which we are speaking in the present perfect to give it a new appearance, to make the subject sound fresh. So this speaker says, we have always have watched. We have always watched movies at the cinema bay, but we won't this weekend. We have always watched doesn't mean we just watch one now. Have watched is present perfect, but it tells us about something we did in the past. We did it several times in the past. That is always watched. All right. These are what you need to know about the present perfect tense. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If that is the case, then I am fulfilled. But you need to help us make this video go viral. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video so that it will have a wider reach. That way, you will be helping us to reach a wider audience than will be the case if the spread of the video depends on us alone. I've enjoyed my stay with you, and I hope you've done the same. Like I said earlier on, you are welcome to drop your comments on the comment section. Tell us what you think we can do to make the channel better, and some other observations that you have made. As you do that, thank you very much and take care of yourself.